Content warning. This series contains all manner of edgelord content. It's all meant to be humorous comedy and none of it is a slight against others, but nevertheless, this is your warning that the Remembering Wesley episodes contain strong language, sex jokes, racial slurs, weight jokes, gender jokes, religious jokes, and on and on. Mature audience only, viewer discretion advised, blah blah, you know the deal.
The Lost Context Podcast, starring Bruce.
Plunk. Hey, I haven't had my Dr. Pepper yet.
With Chris Riley.
Blow up cow.
Also starring Tim Demuse.
Oh, gee, thanks, Mom. We're gonna go play GoldenEye later.
And Wesley Sullivan.
I don't know if it was moist in Provo, but it kind of got moist in Vegas.
So you wanna buy a ranch. That's the good life, right? Wide open fields, quiet and peaceful, big sky as far as the eye can see. Not to mention finding yourself a pretty lady and having a good romp in the cornfield. Howdy, I'm Steve Young. No, not that Steve Young. But me and the other Steve Young do have some similarities. Just like how being a quarterback is a big responsibility and leadership, well, so too is owning a ranch, especially if you're communicating with ranch hands. And just as a quarterback has to dip down behind another man's posterior and put his hands all up around the other man's business, well, so too does a rancher have to get his hands a little dirty with posteriors. But with cows rather than men. So if that's what you're here for, that's what I'm here for, and that is why I recorded this here video cassette tape. I'm going to explain to you some of the perks, but also some of the pitfalls of owning your own ranch. While owning a ranch comes with a lot of rewards, you should be aware that there is a price to pay. For one thing, there's not much entertainment out in the boonies. If you're used to music venues, sports stadiums, and diversity, well, you best be ready to let all that go. And for another thing, when I say there's a price to pay, I mean that in the most literal way possible. You see, ranching is a steep investment, and that's why it's often passed down in the family, from generation to generation. What I'm saying is, before you take your lady out to have a roll in the hay, you best first make sure your mumsy ain't coming strolling by, 'cause the reality may be that you'll be sharing your ranch duties with her.
You're just looking for ways to reconnect with your electrician lover boy. You're gonna there'll be a fire and you'll go to after the fact, they're gonna be like, we need to figure out what's wrong, let's hire this electrician. And he'll be like, oh yeah, this is it. And you'll be like, oh hey, remember me?
By the way, I'm growing a beard and I'm home brewing my own beer now.
Mormon beer.
That's a market that really should be exploited. There's not going to be much competition.
That's true. It's true. Very little.
Are you in Are you in Utah?
I am southern Utah. Yep.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Just a couple hours drive from Vegas, so.
Like Ogden or like Provo?
Oh, no. I went
Or
to
am I totally
school up to... Ogden is in the northern part of the state. That's where I went to university. But I live in St. George. It's one of the southernmost cities. So.
Yeah, I've been there before. There used to be a band that my old band played with. I think they're called Inaviate. I believe that's where they were from.
Oh.
This was a long time ago, though. But yeah, they were really good dudes, and that was a pretty cool city. I can't remember the venue that we used to frequent over there, but I'm pretty sure it had a giant sign on the wall that just said "people" in all caps.
I'm trying to think what venue that would be. Was it
I'm sure
indoor?
it's long gone. It was indoor. It was a little
indoor.
place. Yeah.
Oh, was it the
I think it was an
Electric
all-brick building.
Theater?
That sounds like it.
Okay,
That might be it.
Yeah,
There was still the discolored part where they had to scrape off the letters "no colored."
Yeah, see, they let me slip in because I booked the show with just my voice, like we've said before. So they didn't know until I showed up. They're like, "Oh fuck."
They're like, "God, dagnabbit!" They take their hat off and then stomp on it.
Yeah, no, people in Utah are legit like scared of brown people. It's like crossing the road type of shit. This is like, I mean, I don't think we look like we're intimidating guys. Like fucking, the dude singing for us is wearing girl pants right now. Like, come on.
yeah, it's.
Well, that'll never fly in Utah. Girls aren't allowed to wear pants.
Ankle skirts only.
I'm gonna tell you something else. You gotta be tough to be a rancher. That's for darn sure. It might first seem like the country life is all rosy-posy. Nuh-uh, Pilgrim. There's real risk out here, whether it be a broken leg or mangled toes.
Tony was on that South African time.
I'm sure you had some black in you.
Yeah, several times a year.
Okay, jokes. Ramin says, ask Megan if there is really a white genocide on the brink in South Africa. We kind of covered that.
We covered that.
Yep.
Rodney asks, ask Wesley how his cows are doing.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Rodney. You are a really kind man. He has cattle as well, so we've talked about that before.
Cute.
Yeah, they're doing well.
Sweet.
Wesley,
Yes?
do you want to make your announcement here on the podcast?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So last week I was at the farm doing some chores, and I climbed up on a big stack of hay bales.
Wait, I'll stop you right there. Let's have our guest try to guess what happened next.
Who's the guest?
Well, both of you are.
He fell.
And what happened?
You fell into manure, like Back to the Future style.
I've got in a lot of manure in my time. I don't mind that too much.
So is Michael. Ta-da!
It's funny because me and Brian were gonna say something similar.
What happened,
So
Wesley?
no other guesses? Oh, okay. Well, I fell, and about 300 pounds of me fell at least 7 feet down, and it was right
Onto a cow?
over. No, not onto a cow. No. Onto a feeding trough area, and I broke my leg. And it hurts like a son of a bitch. And it's broken in two places, and they have me on some painkillers, which do help. And so
That's why he's so giggly tonight.
yeah. But no, back to Rodney's question. The farm is going well. It's been a fairly warm winter comparatively, so the animals are handling it well, and we're starting to get a bit more precipitation. So I'm hoping that we'll get enough of a snowpack and water for the next year. That's one of the big concerns when you have a farm in the western United States. Lack of snow or rain to hold you through the year. So.
All right, now on to the good stuff. Let the Wesley broken leg memes begin.
Yes.
Oh yes, let's do it.
But what I'm getting at is the fact that Brian is a fucking bigot. And the reason I know this is because while we were all having a genuinely good time joking and laughing about how much money it would take for us to give the metaphorical foot job.
Is it a metaphor, though?
Wesley. What?
Is it a metaphor, though?
Well, yeah, it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for capitalism, really, if you think about it. Because everything has a price, including your dignity. And Manly Brian wants to pretend like his dignity isn't worth some sort of a price, and it absolutely has to be. Like, there is no way that, like, we started at 25,000, and I was like, all right. But then when he was like, no, not even for $250,000, like, now I just know you're lying and a homophobe. And I just wanted it to be on record. We don't really even have to discuss the topic, and Brian doesn't have to defend himself. We can just move on. Just so everybody knows. But seriously, though, how much would it cost for you to give a foot job to Bill Gates, Chris?
I mean, like, my position on these things is pretty much the same. Like, if they're famous enough, you do it just for the story. I mean, that's your internalized, like, lowest amount acceptable. But with them not having the benefit of knowing that, you try to bargain up as far as you possibly can.
All right, so here's the scenario. We're going to, I and Wesley, because we're not homophobes, we're going to also be bidding with you. So, like, we're all going to be vying, so we're going to do a Price is Right style thing. So maybe we should decide who's going to go first instead.
Hold on a second, I might be able to pull up the Price is Right yodeling song. Do you think we would get hit for copyright with that?
Could be.
Es posible.
Let's see what we got here.
But I'm thinking
I actually
that...
have it as my ringer on my phone.
Oh my god.
Gosh.
Which is amazing whenever it goes off when I'm, like, in the bathroom or something.
Boy, I wonder what he's doing in there. They're all checking under the stalls to see if there's, like, 2 pairs of feet. Nobody's in there with him. I wonder what's going on.
Oh, wait, it doesn't come through. That's right, I'm on, I have headphones on, so it's not coming through the speaker. I was the only one hearing it.
So the minimum bid is going to be $1,000.
Holy shit, y'all are cheap. We're starting low. We're talking about this. We're talking about Bill Gates here, you guys.
Well,
so
see,
I mean,
that's
if
your
Bill
problem,
Gates offers this, I'm taking it.
You guys must
So,
give
I
shitty
mean,
foot jobs.
If you guys are gonna hold out, like, I'll take it.
Oh, so we're just kind of automatically fucked because you will just do it for $1,000.
Fuck yeah! I don't want to risk y'all getting the money, so I'm gonna take it.
You did say it was capitalism, Tim. So.
And oh yeah, dude, I'm down with that. That's fine.
Now you guys.
So
like,
y'all are gonna have to
realistically-
start coming down towards my end now.
Right. Well, because realistically, though, a foot job wouldn't be that bad. They're a calloused part of your body. But I still want to know how much it would cost.
I sit down all day. I just drive. Mine are very soft and supple.
Oh, so you're gonna get every ridge and bump?
I guess, yeah. I mean, mine are borderline Asian woman feet, except for the hair on top.
So here's the one worry. Do you think that you might accidentally put athlete's foot on his balls?
What the fuck?
That is 100% going to happen.
He's doing it for the story.
But he will only find out about that later. You know, by that
my
time,
God,
the
dude.
the
That's
check
the
full of
gift that
cash.
keeps on giving.
Are you talking about foot jobs? Because, I was on the phone and now I can't come back. And I figured the first thing I hear, the calluses are going to feel so good on the tip.
So Wesley,
So
though,
you like a rough calloused foot, Michael?
$100,000. Are you going to give a foot job to Bill Gates?
I thought we started at 1,000.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Riley already took that.
So you got to come down.
Well, I mean, I know Wes isn't going to do it for fun. I want to know what Wes's price is,
I see.
basically.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
None.
it would need to be 50 grand.
But,
$50,000.
He said it too fast. I was going to try to set up the situation here. Like, Wes is walking down the street of St. George, Utah. All of a sudden, this black limousine pulls up. It's a stretch Escalade. Then all of a sudden, the tinted window starts rolling down. And he asks Wesley, how much is it going to take?
Yeah,
Well-
I'd say 50 grand. I could live with that.
Does it have to be to completion?
I mean, obviously. Unless you're going to be a dick about it.
Bruh.
No, you
Although
totally
I have
could.
a
If
concern.
the person is desperate enough, you could.
Tim, I have a concern. I have some pretty mangled toes after various incidents with livestock. And
Well, that might be part of his kink, though, Wesley.
maybe.
But you don't become a millionaire businessman for nothing. Like, he's going to try to nickel and dime every little bit down.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not satire. We actually believe this about Bill Gates.
Y'all are fucking nasty and should be ashamed of yourselves.
What are you talking about, Michael?
So, Michael,
remember-
how much would you pay Bill Gates to give him a foot job?
I wouldn't pay Bill Gates.
But what if you were his live-in foot job guy?
Who?
You could, live in the pool house? That's got to be a big-ass fucking house.
Why would I want to live there when I live in New York?
We have to find out.
You
If-
know he's got a place in New York, too.
Oh, for sure.
Probably on Long Island or some.
I'm somewhere that's lame. My name's Michael. I'm a hipster.
We have to ask if
He lives underneath the lake in Central Park.
Aw, shit.
Ew, I don't want to fucking live in Manhattan. Get the fuck out of here.
Listen,
I wanna live in Brooklyn.
listen, guys. Bill Gates is super nerdy and not all, he's not bad looking, but he's not the most attractive guy. We have to find out if Steve Footjobs was still alive, how much would Michael want?
I
to
would
do?
rather do that to him.
Yeah, there you go.
He was more attractive. Not that.
Do you think that...
Not more attractive because Bill Gates isn't attractive.
Here's the thing you gotta wonder, though.
Now, what if Steve Jobs rose up as a lich?
Well, I wasn't expecting that question. What I was wondering, all right, so Steve Jobs, notorious for the turtlenecks, is he circumcised?
Absolutely.
Compensating.
Is he a Jew? Was his partner
No, I
Steve
think he's-
Wozniak a Jew? Because I think Steve Wozniak was a Jew with a name like that.
I think that Steve Jobs, isn't he fucking Syrian or something like that?
I don't know.
Was he?
I have no idea.
Thought he was some weird nationality that I didn't expect, but I can't remember.
I'm gonna Google it.
Oh, apparently Steve Jobs is a Buddhist.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
So that makes it even more likely that he's going to resurrect as a lich. Well, no, seriously. So who would give the lich of Steve Jobs a foot job?
I don't like Apple products, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, if Steve Jobs was alive, the products wouldn't have went completely downhill, and it would have actually still be worth the price.
What would be included on an iPhone that would make it worth the price? Oh God, that's a bad question. Moving on. Sorry, I didn't say anything.
Included on an iPhone.
Oh my
that
God,
make it
please
worth the
don't.
price? That's a difficult question.
Exactly. That's the thing, man.
Oh, okay. Basically, what would not be included, basically, is a better question. Microtransactions. If there were no microtransactions, that would make it amazing.
Lozano definitely wants to keep all the dongles.
The dongles. Oh, you know what? I'll do it for iPod Classic.
What the?
Oh,
Like the first iPod?
The iPod Classic.
I mean, the first one's got to be pretty classic, right?
No, that one's wheel, like, was mechanical. Like, you actually had to drag it around.
Time to meet Lozano. So that was the worst topic we've ever had. I'm glad this is Patreon only.
And now I'll tell you what else. You gotta be tough in body, but you also gotta be tough in spirit. I've been romanticizing things a bit with that whole lady scenario. But you know, there's no speed dating out here in the country. There's no meeting women at the clubs. If you're not ready to get hitched to Peggy, Polly, or even Pamela out on Road 5 Northeast, you may have to find your own methods of passing the night away, if and you know what I mean. Sometimes a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do, and he's just gotta take care of his own property down south.
Here's the
A
thing.
Caesar, perhaps a Fu Manchu.
There are few things in this world that is scarier than shaving down there.
Yeah.
And the fear of nicking yourself.
Especially with those electronic ones where they catch a wrinkle in the nut or something.
Yeah, and I am not into that waxing shit.
Nah.
Yeah.
Might
It's not
pull
for
a
me.
testicle off or something.
Is that ever an issue or addressed or talked about in Mormon culture, Wesley?
shaving and like grooming and stuff.
Yeah, like bodyscaping or whatever they call it.
No, I've never heard of it being discussed or any expectation one way or another. I've never done anything with my body hair like that. I'm not very hairy above the waist. I have barely any hair on my chest or under my arms. I've never. The manscaping stuff is odd.
You just kind of got ripped off with your voice and your hair and your everything.
Yeah, it's pretty low testosterone levels. Puberty.
At least you have pretty remarkable hair on your head. It's more than I can say.
Yeah, that's true.
And you got an endless supply of steak, dude. That's all that fucking matters. Don't listen to
Hell
anything else.
yeah.
As long as you got a goddamn ribeye every night, dude, you're fine.
For sure.
Fuck everything else. You could masturbate to a burlap doll. Fuck it.
Masturbate what?
A burlap doll. I don't know how you do it on the farm, bro. Cut me some slack. I'm sorry. I was only a hired hand for a couple summers, man. I don't know.
You get a fiance and then you get married. That's what you don't get a burlap doll.
You never had a practicer? You never took a tumble with the practicer first, dude?
I just see him out there like drawing lipstick on a cow.
I got a practicer. I'm learning. We made second base.
Hold still, Bessie. Now, no tongue this time.
Dude, I wonder if there's any payoff being a dairy farmer, though, with hands-on tits or something. If ladies are like, damn, you've handled a tit before. You're pretty good.
Just hop on your horse and you ride into town and pick yourself out the finest $3 whore you can.
I brought the bag bomb with me. Don't worry, I'm a professional.
Coward, you're supposed to fondle them, not milk them.
You don't know what the farmer does. Maybe they have to get them going or something. Get the milk out of there.
Oh, man.
Do you dairy farm at
That's a
all?
bull! Where's your sense at, boy?
He just had one big tit, and he was in the back.
Oh, man.
Videos of cows, banging. So, I mean, I think...
Oh, the cows are banging other cows?
Yeah, They upload videos of cows banging all the time.
You can hate me now.
And how do you know about this,
I
Alex?
won't stop now. Because I can't
know
stop
about it
now.
Subreddit I just made up.
Here's the thing: if you people pitch in and get Wesley's little brother a retarded horse, he will bang a cow in front of you.
What the fuck?
My brother or me?
Now that brings up a segue topic.
Stretch goals, ladies and gentlemen. Stretch goals.
So Wesley sent in, was Jenny in the wrong for sleeping with a retarded man? Reverse the genders and it's really messed up.
Jesus.
Additionally, would Wesley get in trouble for sleeping with a retarded cow? And what if the species were reversed?
Okay, can we
I
just
think Wesley would
take...
get in trouble for bestiality because it's against the law.
No, there's nothing wrong with it because it's your cow.
So if it was my neighbor's cow, that would be an issue. But
Well,
my
yeah,
cow...
I mean, that's a violation of the NAP.
Okay,
But-
okay, I see.
But you're allowed to do whatever you want with your property.
And of one of the commandments, I think.
If you were,
Thou shalt not bang my neighbor's cow.
Yeah.
I think that's what all the coveting is about, right? Like, coveting means putting your arm to the elbow in your neighbor's cow.
Oh,
that's a specific measurement.
Right?
Yeah. It's
what
like
about
a furlong.
India, Brian?
A pearlum?
A furlong, those old biblical type of measurements and shit.
I just think it would be a gamble in India because you might be having sex with your ex-husband, your husband that died, or you could be having sex with your grandfather. You just don't know.
Or you could die of hepatitis just from walking through the street.
I really like Brian talking about India, knowing literally nothing about India.
I super don't. I watched, but I
Well,
watched.
I want to know why the generic ass bald guy thinks that somehow fucking Indian people wouldn't have a hard time telling his ass apart from like 90% of fucking white dudes that live in this country. Like, what the fuck?
Dude,
Hold on.
listen, Brian
No,
gets
listen,
all of his...
I was talking about reincarnated cows, not people.
What? Oh,
Anyway,
okay. It's a Hinduism joke. I get you. What the fuck?
Brian watched the movie Outsourced, and he thinks that's basically what his version of India is.
No, I watched Slumdog Millionaire.
I've got more bad news for you, partner. While you're growing accustomed to, let's say, wrestling the old hog on your own self, choking the chicken, shaking hands with the milkman, lone rangerin', polishing the banister, burping the corn snake, what I'm saying is, when you've finished boxing the one-eyed champ, you may have to get up and go do that same thing on your bowls. Now, I'm not saying you've physically gotta get in there and engage in any hand-to-gland combat. We got tools for that. Like this here vibrating electro rod. You pop this inside the bull's double wide and switch it on and you'll have yourself a bucket full faster than a knife fight in a phone booth.
I don't give a fuck about time on this episode. This is our 20th episode ever, so you should tell us about your new job.
So, my family has a long history of being in agriculture. And as most of you know, I own cattle myself. But to supplement that...
Can I stop you right there? Now is a perfect time for our commercial break.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
To keep everybody on edge to find out what his new job is.
All right, stay tuned, everyone. We'll come back and we'll learn more about Wesley's new job.
This episode of the Lost Context Podcast is brought to you by Virtue Signaling on Memorial Day. Do you see people around you just having fun, grilling out, and just enjoying the day off? Well, this is a federal fucking holiday for a reason. Pull out your AR-15 and teach your neighbors a lesson, and let them know that you take the troops fucking serious.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The next topic is going to be brought to us by Brian. Brian, what's your topic? Just kidding. Wesley, tell us about how you inseminate cattle.
Well, that's a... You ripped the Band-Aid off, that's for sure.
I heard he uses the rhythm method.
Wesley, tell us about your gay job.
So I artificially inseminate cattle. I pull calves.
Ain't nothing artificial about it, baby.
That's brisk, baby.
We should skip my topic in lieu of Wesley's job topic.
No, I don't want to take too much time.
Oh, no, I do, Wesley, because this is ripe for the pickings. Holy shit.
Okay, well, then pick away.
So they give the bowl a couple drinks, and then they put on Wesley puts on his lipstick.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit of Al Green.
And I take off the long sleeve button up shirt and I put on some whorish red dress.
I'm so in love with you.
The segment brought to you by Sequins.
And now on this exclusive Lost Contacts podcast episode, the truth of how Wesley broke his leg.
Oh, Wesley, you're not supposed to wear the pumps in with the bowl. It's just to get him to the bathroom.
Hurry, you can. Oh yeah, that'd be great doing a hurricane kick into a cow.
How many beers deep are you, Riley?
Oh, I was drinking vodka tonight.
Oh, even better.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I wanted to grab another beer during the commercial break, but Tim brought us back.
I want my life noted. I want to be asked how many Dr. Peppers I've drank.
How many Dr. Peppers have you drank?
Just 2.
Oh.
I was hoping for something impressive. Nope.
Well, if you've ever tasted Dr. Pepper, 2 is incredibly impressive.
You don't like Dr. Pepper?
How you made it past 1 is a miracle.
I am actually not making this up. My mom bought Dr. Pepper over for this weekend, and so I had 3 or 4 yesterday, and I had 2 today, so I'm pretty loaded up on it too.
Oh, gee, thanks, Mom. We're gonna go play GoldenEye later.
Can you imagine? Like, hold on, let me do the math here.
Hold on, let me do the math here.
I think I had 5, and then so that's about 140 flavors I've consumed.
Oh man.
The real question is, do you think that Dr. Pepper could beat LeBron in one-on-one?
I don't know, but this whole conversation has me like hankering to like just listen to the intro to the Andy Griffith Show.
What?
It's
Why?
just such a like fucking old like normie looking. I don't know.
Oh, because of Dr. Pepper?
Dr. Pepper, yeah, it's just
Okay, Chris,
just the worst.
for you, Chris, I'm gonna make the beginning, the intro of this episode. I'll make it Andy Griffith.
Be a Pepper.
Okay.
Sorry, what do you do for a job, Wes?
Oh my hell. So I pull calves. I artificially inseminate cows. I do ultrasounds on cows.
I didn't know that.
A few other things, and the really gay part is I collect semen from bulls. And I'm guessing you guys are going to want to hear how it's collected.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
100%.
All right. Well, how
blow-up cow.
Does it involve knee pads?
What?
What?
A blow-up cow.
So, guess like how you think it's done.
Well, I think I know how it's done, so I feel like I shouldn't
I
guess.
always forget you grew up around a dairy, so I don't know. The fun isn't there with you.
I want to believe that you could put pheromones around any hole.
What?
Like you could find like, you know, a beehive.
A hole's a hole. I'm about to get that
alright.
shit.
Alright, I got a legit theory here. So on Tuesdays, they, you know, take the dairy cows out of the milking stations and then just like bring the bulls in there. It's like, alright, just attach the same hoses.
Oh my hell. Oh. I just gagged. Why? Oh.
That's why it's homogenized, boys and girls.
You've never heard that there's a little bit of pus in your milk?
Extra creamy. Where'd you get this?
Vitamin D milk.
Oh.
Oh shit. Oh.
It's whole plus.
I'm frowning incredibly hard right now, Brian. I just need you to know that.
You don't strain a muscle.
So, there's like, it's like a electrified rod that you stick up the bull's ass.
Oh man, how did we not have Mike Lozano on hold for this?
No, don't give him ideas.
He is definitely on the short list for next episode to give a rebuttal.
Okay, so once you've got the vibrator up his ass,
the steel vibrator that's directly on the bull's prostate.
Yeah, and then it just salutes the troops, and you put a little thing, and
you get
then
both of your
pull it
hands
up.
down there, and you basically cradle it like a small baby or a pumpkin, and then you just start rocking and rolling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to try to use as little teeth as possible.
Right, exactly. And then you can just spit it into a bucket.
it's like siphoning gas, really.
Oh, you're making me gag.
With the mouth.
There's only like about a step away between and pulling semen from a cow and irrigation. You got to do that kind of thumb funnel trick.
And then, Tim, do you know how artificial insemination works? Do they do that at dairies?
I mean, I've seen it done once, and basically it's just a long-ass pipette that,
Yeah.
you put into a cow vagina. You basically squirt a little bit of jelly on there and stick the pipette in and just bloop, blop a little...
So how big are these vibrators, and where can I get one?
Ask Michael.
Brian's always on the lookout to inseminate some cows in his town.
It's not nice to talk about the girls that Brian's fucking that way.
Oh.
Excuse me, heifer. You want to get inseminated? I'll buy you a drink first. Do you have to buy them a drink first? Is that a law in Utah?
I was told that you don't have to.
Oh.
Hey, I haven't had my Dr. Pepper yet.
You at least leave her cab fare, though, right?
Yes. But I think the part that really when I first was learning how to do it, and Jennifer came out with me. The part that really grossed her out is that when you're artificially inseminating a cow, you have to put your arm into its rectum and then hold on to the vaginal canal and then slowly feed the little tube in through like these ridges inside the vaginal canal. You have to wear these long plastic gloves.
Yeah, we call that the Jim Henson, Wesley.
I believe you can look that up on Pornhub. It's called double penetration.
Oh.
Hey, easy. I'm still learning myself. Don't give me too.
No, just jump straight to triple penetration.
I don't have that many wives yet.
That's all right. They don't have that many holes.
Oh. So yeah, that's the funny description of my new small business. So
Just like a Ziploc bag, I like my women airtight. What song are we writing new lyrics to?
I was gonna go with what's it called? The train one.
Oh, I love that one.
Folsom Prison Blues.
Don't you dare ruin Johnny Cash. Hell.
I specifically picked it because it's one of the only songs that I know that you know.
Oh.
I don't even know that one that well.
Oh my.
Well, you know how like
I've already started writing, so fuck you guys.
You don't need to do rhyme for rhyme or anything. All you need is da 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 da
cultural appropriation. That's what this is.
There you go.
That sounded like a circus, what you just did.
I'm just saying, if you can fit words into that one verse, then there you go. You're done.
I hear the train a-coming. It's rolling round the bend.
Oh, it's that
and
one.
Then,
all right.
Yeah, that one. So, we're going to take a commercial break while we write our songs. We'll have 5 minutes, and then we'll be back.
It's racism.
So, actually, undo the commercial break.
Of course.
What other rule is there, Brian? Come on.
I forgot to give you your words. Let's see, Chris. I'm just going to go down the line. Chris, Von Waite says you have to incorporate the word schlong.
Of course.
Tim, Ricky Berlin says you have to incorporate the word scrumtrulescent.
Scrumtrulescent.
Which is a word that was made up by Will Ferrell. Tim, Jamie Jane says you have to incorporate the word articulate or articulate.
Okay.
And I have to incorporate from Joshua Klemick the word pineapple. Should we have a theme? We should have something this song is about.
Wait,
so that we can all be.
I spaced out.
Go
What's
ahead.
my word?
Your word is articulate.
Oh, I thought that was my word too. Never mind.
Yours is scrumtrulescent.
So what
So
did we
what are we
have to come
writing?
up with bird and extravagant for?
I didn't get enough people. They didn't respond. Megan Milan didn't respond, and someone else didn't respond. Let's see.
Lovely.
So we need a topic. I forgot about this part. What are we writing about?
Wesley's new job?
I was just about to say bull insemination. I mean, like, how do you not?
Perfect. Okay. Commercial break. Go.
Is your child suffering from an inability to pay attention? Are they crying too much? Are they just a pain to handle? Have you tried hitting your children? Hitting your children can come with the side effect of obedience. Hitting your children. Brought to you by the United States government.
Welcome back, everybody. So we've all written our songs. We've all written our songs to the tune of Johnny Cash's Folsom Prison Blues. We incorporated the one word that the CLC members gave us, and now we're going to perform the song for you, one verse right after another. We're going to be singing our own verses. So I'm going to kick it off, and then we'll just go down the line according to Discord chat. So it'll be me, Chris Riley, Tim Muse, and then Wesley. You guys got that?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. I really hate my job. It's really kinda gay. Get a bull to drop the soap and vibrate away. Oh, I give the cows a hand job just to watch them come. It smells quite like pineapple. One day I might try some.
Whip out the electric schlong, place it inside that bull's end. Gotta milk that semen to artificial inseminate. I make my money pimping cows and bulls all day. When I finish what I'm doing, I gotta kneel and pray.
I fear that Wesley's coming and turning heifers on. Brought out the cum stool and milking that bull schlong. I gotta get this essence. This is scrum-trulescent. And when Wesley brings the bacon, we all dine on pheasant.
Take it away, Wes.
I hear the heifers mooing, the herds lined up and waiting to be bred. I look around and scratch my head. Where'd the semen go? Stumble through the shit and articulate. Bully, it's your time to show. I fire up that steel rod, and then he blows.
Oh man.
Good job, everyone.
That works better than I thought.
Articulate really messed me up.
Well, during commercial break, Wes was like, Johnny Cash wouldn't even know how to use the word articulate. I like how Tim incorporated Chris's schlong word in there.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, this was the perfect topic. You just worked that right in. It was a good
kind of like
song.
what Wesley does.
What's the story with them and Charles Manson again? Was it he tried to like chill with them or something? They weren't having it? Or what's the story?
Well, you see, Chucky Manson showed up one day. They were just hanging out in Burbank, California, getting ready to, do some chill waves or whatever the fuck it is people in Burbank, California do. And good old Chucky Manson was like, "Hey, y'all want to chill?" And they were like, "Nah, man. Like we've got a pretty good full party here. So unless you're planning on rolling up a healer, we don't have time for you." And that was the end of it. It was, you know what I mean? They just had a full party.
He's giving them bad vibrations.
Just like what Wesley does. Know what I'm saying?
No. I get a bad vibe off that Wesley, man. I swear to God, he's humping cows or something when we're not listening.
He doesn't hump them. He finger bangs them like a normal person.
Yeah.
But with my
You have
fist.
to. Oh, jeez. You have to, huh? To inseminate and all that. You got to be like shoulder deep and not.
There's some shoulder deep action, for sure.
You got to finger bang into your cows.
You need to write that song and.
Jackson Callanellen could finger bang people and inseminate them.
Oh, because he has penis fingers?
Yep, that's the reason. So, the other day I saw a spooky doll, and it is at a grocery store, and they'd set it on a Roomba, and it was just like roaming around the grocery store. I think Wesley's New Year's resolution is going to be to collect the most absurdly expensive D&D dice that he can get his hands on.
I thought you were going for a semen joke, but I'm pleasantly surprised.
These D&D dice are made out of pure semen.
Go support us with our new Kickstarter to get these Rocky Mountain D&D dice.
Oh my god.
All right, Tim, your turn.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess that Wesley's New Year's resolution is to start hoarding insulin. Because rather than diet and exercise, I feel like that's a much better option in his eyes.
Let's get off the sex topic and move on to violence. Another reason you'll be needing to toughen up on the farm is because out here we don't have no cutesy-wootsy animal love. Animals either work or provide food. And if they don't do neither, it usually means they're just destructive. And sometimes as a rancher, you gotta deal with destructive animals yourself. And that ain't gonna be easy for some namby-pamby city slicker. Because I ain't talking about killing no big ugly sharks or gnarly crocodiles. Oftentimes the destructive animals are the cute ones. I'm talking fluffy little bunny wunnies. And sometimes a bunny wunny needs his brainy wainies bashed in.
Living in a rural area, I've had a fair amount of experiences, close calls with like ATVing, horseback riding, which I don't do anymore because of being bucked off.
That one time he saw a black guy at the general store.
Ran into his cart. Saw his life flash before his eyes.
Excuse me, sir, how much for a bushel of Fuck, I can't do it.
I don't even know what you were trying to do.
I was trying to say a bushel of flour.
But I can't think of anything besides once we were out bunny bashing and my buddy rolled the truck and it was just really terrifying. Nobody was hurt, but it just really shook me. Besides that,
shook
nothing...
me all night long.
Please tell me that bunny bashing is a euphemism for something.
Having sex in the back of a truck, Chris. Sex in the back of a truck.
So that's really all. I don't really
nothing you're not going to tell us?
It's because bunny bashing is self-explanatory. You get in the truck, you get a polo mallet, chase down the bunnies, and just fucking bash them.
An oversized man.
Bunny bashing?
No.
Oh, yeah. My dad would get mad because I'd take his drivers sometimes, his golf clubs. Yeah, so...
And bludgeon the fuck out of bunnies, Brian. If you can't figure out what bunny bashing is yet, you don't deserve to know.
I'd take his drivers, and then we'd go down to the driving range, obviously. Smack a few balls, and then we go out of the bar. Try to pick up a couple bunnies, and then go home. It's very simple.
So it's not a euphemism. You're really playing whack-a-mole.
No, it's literally driving through sagebrush, trying to kill disgusting rabbits which ravage the land.
Holy shit.
It's literally practice for being a serial killer later in life.
But if you're driving through that said land, aren't you kind of ravaging it?
I mean, there are little dirt roads.
Colonizer.
Yes. I could tell stories about getting rid of another pest, but it's technically protected, and I can't.
I don't think you're the one
further.
that got Tanya to leave.
No, it's a species of prairie dog.
I know she is. It's weird. She
Yepers, your perspective changes out here in the country. While you may say to yourself, no sirree, not me, Mr. Steve Young, I ain't never gonna bash no bunny. Well, you just give it time. I guarantee you're gonna have to deal with the dead animal carcass sooner or later.
Like the Eastern Asia or something, and they're like trucking this thing through the middle of like a busy street, and like all the gases inside the dead thing like built up and it bloated, and then like the way that the crane had it like, you know, suspended on this like flatbed truck, it just like made a weak spot in its hide, and then it just like fucking blew up and blew its like rotten guts all over the street and all over like a whole block. And yeah, it's fucking disgusting. There's video of this.
When I had to look up some news on Saturday for the cold open of the show I did, which will be last week when this airs, I jumped on ETC News, and shout out to those guys. You should come be on our podcast. But one of the stories they told was they're kind of marveling over the fact that it's 2018 and we still haven't figured out how to dispose of beached whales. And they showed this video of these people that tried to dump one in a dumpster. And so they had it up on this big old shovel and this, what do you call those things? Like a backhoe or whatever. And they went to dump it in the dumpster, and it just kind of flopped out and hit the floor all like pathetically.
If that doesn't end up on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I mean, like...
But it's interesting that, yeah, we just don't have a good way to dispose of those things. They were reminiscing about the TNT that one year, long ago, and they blew it up and there was blubber flying from the sky and landing on cars and stuff.
Oh, I just watched a video of a guy harpooning this whale, and it's glorious because the guts just spill out. I'm weird. I never knew this about myself.
Do you have to dispose of dead cows ever?
Yes, and they blowed up, and the smell is terrible if they do pop. Usually you get a front loader and tie some chains to its legs and just haul it off.
To where?
I don't know, an empty field of sagebrush, far away from where people will be for any period of time, and then the coyotes will eat it.
Yeah, that's why I find random cow skulls out in the wilderness. It's people just dumping their shit.
You jerk off and haul off enough cows, your opinion of animals will start to change, and you'll appreciate that really, deep down, they're just big, dumb old animals. Truth be told, it's the smart animals you gotta watch out for.
Oh, I got another one to spring on you guys.
Let's go.
Scientists give ecstasy to octopuses and are astounded by what happened next. What happened next? So, ecstasy is MDMA, and it's a club drug. And they gave it to octopuses, and apparently the octopuses were more playful and basically danced around. So I don't know how this astounded them at all, because that's the exact same effect that it has on humans. They were doing water acrobatics.
Are octopuses, that's a weird plural, are they considerably intelligent for sea critters?
Yeah, they're very intelligent. They can like navigate through mazes and open all sorts of like jars and things like that.
They're like a
that's concerning.
They're like escape artists.
Yeah, that too.
That's creepy. I think if we find animals that smart, we should kill them. Just exterminate them. Monkeys, like, very few animals really creep me out. But monkeys and apes, just they're terrifying.
And I
Brian,
think,
are you going to start playing the Battle Hymn of the Republic behind this again?
and we should exterminate them and let the Chinamen eat them. They eat that shit.
I sang the first verse when I was on Instagram Live.
You know, Wesley, I would be very careful with how you talk about monkeys and apes with how things have gone down recently.
Oh my hell, I didn't even...
Roseanne followed you on Twitter.
All I'm saying is intelligent sea creatures, including whales and dolphins, they should be overfished.
So, since we're talking about killing monsters and the Battle Hymn of the Old Republic, I gotta read these lyrics from
The Battle Hymn of the Old Republic?
Yeah, it's Star Wars parody.
Remember how I was talking about you getting hitched to that lady friend so you could finally turn on the sprinklers, drill for oil, visit the old man in the canoe? Well, brace yourself for the bad news, feller, 'cause you're gonna have to learn to clean up real nice. She ain't just gonna give it to you. You gotta work for it. No woman wants a man coming in smelling like he's been down to Browntown.
So, do your guys' wives like practice the hug and punch like conversation tactic?
The what?
Have you heard of the hug and punch? Like where you want to give somebody a criticism and they're not very good at like receiving criticisms, you know? So you like do a hug and punch, like, you know what, man, you look badass out there. Like you had this, you had that, you had it all. It looked really good, but you could kind of work on this, you know, instead of just coming up and telling me. So like my wife,
mine just goes right for the throat, pretty much.
Yeah, so does mine.
My wife, well, when she's like happy, she'll like deliver it in like a fucked up way though, like come in for a kiss and like, well, that's why sometimes you're too retarded to tie your shoes and like kiss me and I'm like, what? Well, hold on a sec.
Can't say I don't know what that's about.
You
like she made it very clear, like, no, I will not kiss you when you're covered in cow shit. I'm like, okay, I see how it is.
Can't say I blame her there.
I'm just laying
pretty
in bed.
good line
waiting.
to draw in the sand there. It's like, fine, I won't kiss you when you're covered in not getting all the chores done. I came home and there was a spoon in the sink. What the fuck was that?
Oh, yeah. I used to have a roommate that was like that. Like he would get all grossed out by like the dumbest shit. Like he would have like French fries and a plate with ketchup on it, and then he would go to rinse it off, and then I'd hear him like gagging while he's rinsing off the ketchup. Wait, you just ate that.
Oh
dude.
my god. Like, how weak does your constitution have to be to gag at, like, you know, ketchup that's not even, like, a day old yet?
I wonder what he rolled high in then, if he's super low on fucking constitution. He was super neurotic. Maybe he was, like, hyper intelligent, borderline autistic or something.
Yeah.
But god damn it if he didn't just eat that ketchup, dude. Go to rinse it off, Jesus.
But I tell you what, if you're willing to put in the hard work, this life will make you tougher than a strip of frozen jerky.
So Wesley, can we take a second to talk about your world record?
Sure.
Okay, so can you describe to me exactly what it felt like when you knocked out the biggest bull of all time?
Bare knuckle.
Bare knuckle.
Oh!
Bear moose knuckle.
Like, what was the tonnage on that guy? I know that his name was Ice Thunder.
I felt accomplished.
You grabbed him by his horns and split his nuts from the back of his ass to the crack of his head. Remember that?
Wesley, how does it feel to hold the world record for most bones broken in a year?
I feel like an Olympian.
Well,
you know you've taken the record from Jackie Chan, and we actually got a quote from Jackie Chan, and it's, "Whoa, something about Fat Man, good."
we got a quote from Jackie Chan saying, "Maybe I should have climbed more haystacks."
Actually, boo.
I know.
And you got in a fist fight with Ryan Gosling out in front of the Save-A-Lot.
Oh my god. Dude, the fact that there's crickets going off in the background of Chris's thing is really making it hard to make jokes.
What is this? Crickets and Christmas?
Dude, that's my audience. I practice to them every night. My pillow is full of mascara. Is all I got to say.
You can only go up from there.
Your investment could end up paying you big dividends.
Okay, so let's turn this question around. If you were the last person on Earth, but then you found out there was one other person, who would you want it to be?
It would need to be somebody resourceful, but not so resourceful that I look useless.
So basically, somebody useless.
Wow.
You really can't think of
I actually would.
anyone in.
I would do really well with my brother-in-law because he is one of those guys that just knows how to do everything, and he's like, I mean, he could probably go off the grid and he'd be fine. He's got all the tools and everything in his house already. I need one of those guys. You need like one of the, and it's funny because they're not always held in high regard in society terms. You look at people in the business suits and the CEOs and stuff, you think, oh, these guys are so important. But actually, if you go to the apocalypse, you want to be with like a farmer or some handyman that just does everything on his own. Some country bumpkin. Like,
I'll take that as a compliment.
Like my grandpa. My grandpa
Brian,
saw a trend.
Brian, I'd like to point out to you what you just did, because Wesley is sitting here in the chat as a farmer, and you were just like, yeah, you'd rather be with one of those fucking stupid farmers who gets their hands dirty rather than like a Steve Jobs type. Like, God, you're such an asshole.
It's not me, it's society.
Oh, of course, yeah, that's what it is.
Here's the thing. Wesley's not a farmer, he's a rancher. There's a pretty big difference there.
Oh, well, I mean, I grow alfalfa, and I...
Exactly, he's a farmer. Grows alfalfa.
So, I mean...
He grows cows.
The definition of the two things is, I think, the difference is pretty shady, because
he's a beef
when
farmer.
I think of a ranch... I think of a huge beef operation where they buy all of their crops. What?
Just you saying huge beef operation.
But
that's got to be the name of the episode now.
No, please, no.
Wesley's huge beef operation.
But when I think of a ranch, I think of like 700-800 cows, and they don't have to grow a thing. They just buy all their feed. So I'd probably consider myself a farmer, because I do have to grow things.
Wow, Chris, sounds like you got fucking owned there by Wesley. Wow.
But it's really an ambiguous thing, so I don't know. Call me what you think I am. I just got in the weeds. I'm sorry.
Now that you're on Twitter, you should protest the candy name of Jolly Rancher and say that it's offensive.
Not all ranchers.
Stop culturally appropriating me. Yeah, my grandpa was one of those guys. He saw a treadmill and he didn't have, he didn't want to spend the money to buy one, so he just built his own treadmill. And then like they had these apple trees and they wanted to make apple cider, so he just built an apple cider press.
He wanted nuclear power, but they didn't have a substation there, so he just built a nuclear power plant.
And given time, you may become quite the expert in your field. literally in your field. And instead of getting these explanations from old Steve Young here, you may find people start consulting you on the country life.
If you guys are riding at full pace, these are not going to be easy shots to take, even though they do have elevation. Because there is, like I said, there is a lot of bushes and like very scraggly looking trees and stuff like that that are kind of lining this canyon. Although at the same time, though, that does kind of make the going a little bit tougher. But for you, because you and your donkey are one and the same basically at this point, you have reached total synthesis. I'm going to give you a little bit of extra movement that I normally would, because yeah, you guys are moving through foliage and things like that. So it's definitely, you're kind of in cover, sort of, if that makes sense. Because you said that you guys are riding close to the walls, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there would definitely be foliage and shit in there then, for sure. Right, Wes? I'm not like bullshitting the desert here, right? Like,
oh
you're
no,
generally fine. Okay.
No, if there's a river, there'll be, high brush, maybe even cottonwoods around there. So yeah.
That totally is what I said. Yep. Good thing we have a native Utah to keep our fiction accurate. It's not as fancy at all. The pews are made out of what look to be a lesser quality wood, and the preacher up at the front of the church, he's wearing a low-topped, large-brimmed black hat with a black buckle around the top of it, and he's wearing a black shirt with a tall collar on it, and he's just got a silver, is it a bolo tie? The strings in the weird, buckle?
Yeah, that's a bolo tie.
Okay, yeah, and he's got a bolo tie on, and he looks up and he goes, "Well, hi there."
If you want to learn more about the country life, you go on and buy yourself some of our other tapes in this series. In our next one, we'll be talking about raising your kids in the country school system. Alright, take care now, and happy ranching.